Chosen one. Your body finally said no, and you couldn't override it this time. The collapse you're feeling has the same energy as realizing this is why it all went to shambles before. The portal is opening and everything that once held you together is no longer allowed to. Stop and breathe, because what fell apart had to fall apart. You've been grinding, forcing, shrinking, pretending. That era is dead. The portal is here now, pulling you forward into life aligned with your actual power. The devil knows your price and just made a final offer. That thing you thought you had to do for money? That compromise you thought was necessary? That toxic situation you thought you had no choice but to accept? Those were traps disguised as opportunities, exit doors disguised as entrances, and you almost took the bait. You thought you were going to have to go back to that soul-crushing job. You thought you were going to have to lower your standards and settle. You thought you were going to have to beg or bow or betray yourself one more time to survive. But something stopped you. Something made your body shut down right before you signed that contract. Something made you physically ill right before you said yes to what would have destroyed you. That wasn't weakness, that was divine intervention, because there are forces that do not want you stepping into your power. Dark energies that need you small, confused and exhausted. Systems designed to keep you enslaved to survival, so you never have time to question why you're surviving in the first place. Society has been bullying you with its expectations. Your family has been pressuring you with their version of who you should be. Social media has been feeding you comparison until you forgot your own value, and you internalized all of it. You made it your mission to meet standards that were designed to be unattainable. The Matrix wants you too tired to think clearly. It wants you comparing yourself to others so you never recognize how rare you are. It wants you chasing external validation so you never develop internal knowing. And it almost worked. You've been playing the game exactly how the system designed it, running the race set up for you. And now you're realizing the finish line keeps moving, and the prize was never real to begin with. But here's what the forces working against you didn't count on. Your spirit being too powerful to stay suppressed. Your body rejecting the programming. You waking up right before the final chain locked. And now that you're starting to see through the illusion, now that you're questioning everything you thought you knew, now that you're standing at this edge, refusing to jump, the panic is real. That's why people who haven't spoken to you in forever are suddenly reaching out. That's why old opportunities are being dangled in front of you. That's why everything is intensifying. You're about to break free and the system knows it. The biggest gift you can give yourself right now is rest. Not just sleep, deep soul rest. The kind where you stop performing, stop proving, stop producing. The kind where you give yourself permission to exist without earning it. And I know that sounds crazy because you're disciplined, you're competitive, you're ferocious, you don't quit. But chosen one, you're being asked to stop because you're being repositioned. You cannot channel divine wisdom while you're in survival mode. You cannot access your intuition while your nervous system is fried. You cannot hear the guidance trying to reach you while your mind is consumed with anxiety about money and strategy and what people will think. You've been running like a machine and your body is saying enough. You're tired in a way coffee doesn't fix, exhausted in a way vacations don't solve, because you're not physically depleted. You're spiritually burnt out from trying to live a life that was never meant for you. The restlessness you feel is not laziness. The inability to push through like you used to is not weakness. Your body is rejecting certain things for a reason. There's a new timeline you're on and most of you don't even realize it yet. That's why your old strategies don't work anymore. That's why you can't just power through. You're operating on a different frequency now, and everything from your old life is incompatible with where you're going. Your fairy tale is being activated. You're going to see your new beginning for what it really is. But you have to create space for it. You have to stop filling every moment with noise. You have to get comfortable with stillness, because that's where the downloads come. That's where clarity lives. That's where divine guidance can reach you. And right now you're too stressed, too worried, too depleted to receive what's trying to come to you. You're about to receive something that requires zero effort. You're about to witness doors opening you didn't knock on, resources appearing that make no logical sense, opportunities showing up at perfect timing. But you have to be clear enough to recognize them, rested enough to have energy when opportunity appears, and right now you're running on empty trying to force the wrong doors open. So rest, read, learn, gain knowledge, not for profit but for expansion, because the wealth transfer that's coming, it's showing up while you're learning, not while you're hustling. Let's be honest about what you've been chasing, that goal you had your sights set on, that version of success you thought you needed. How much of what you're pursuing is actually yours versus what was programmed into you? How much is inspiration versus fear of not being enough? You wanted bragging rights. You wanted to prove you could conquer this thing. You wanted to be the person who does it best. But when you're a vessel for divine consciousness, you cannot approach life the same way regular people do. You were never meant to win at the Matrix game. What you've been chasing was designed for people content with surface success, people who don't have access to the deeper magic you carry, people okay with sacrificing soul for security, and that's why no matter how hard you work, it never feels like enough. You're trying to fill a spiritual void with material accomplishments, trying to prove your worth through external validation when your real value has nothing to do with what you produce. The path you thought you had to take exhausts you. When you think about doing that thing, you feel dread. You have to give yourself pep talks just to show up. You have to mentally prepare like you're going into battle. You have to numb parts of yourself to tolerate it. And then you feel guilty for not being grateful. You feel weak for not handling what others seem to handle fine. But nothing is wrong with you. You're just being pulled out of a timeline that was never yours. Is it a relationship draining you? A family dynamic where you perform a fake version of yourself? A job where you suppress your truth? Mark my words, there is a better offer coming, an opportunity that actually aligns with who you are, a path that doesn't require self-betrayal, but it cannot squeeze through the door if you're hyper-focused on making the wrong thing work. God has bigger plans. The signs are everywhere. Synchronicities multiplying, messages getting louder. The universe is screaming at you to let go, but you're scared because it's familiar. It's what you know. It's what you invested in. But what you're trying to conquer is not meant to be conquered. What you're trying to force is not meant to work. You're being redirected, rerouted, saved from a path that would have destroyed the best parts of you. And I know it feels like failure, like giving up. But sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop fighting. The bravest thing is admitting you took a wrong turn. The wisest thing is trusting there's a better way, even when you can't see it yet. If this message speaks to your soul, hype this video so other chosen ones can discover it. You've been cleared for takeoff and didn't realize it. Your life has been purging, old friendships falling away, relationships based on who you used to be dissolving, opportunities that would have trapped you closing, and you interpreted it as loss, rejection, everything going wrong. But what if everything is going right? Every single thing that went to hell in your life was a targeted demolition, not random chaos, not bad luck, not punishment, strategic destruction. You were being built on a faulty foundation, and the universe had to bring the whole structure down before it collapsed on you. That relationship that imploded, it was blocking someone better from entering. That job you lost, it was stealing years you needed for your real work. That friendship that ended, it was draining energy you needed for your actual tribe. Think about what actually fell apart. Was it the things that made you feel alive? No, it was the things that made you feel dead inside, but you were too loyal to leave. The situations where you had to pretend, the environments where you couldn't breathe, the relationships where you had to shrink. Everything that collapsed was suffocating you, and you kept trying to save it, kept trying to fix it, kept thinking if you just worked harder, tried more, gave more, it would finally work out. But it couldn't work out, because it was never meant to. The universe has been clearing your runway, divine timing removing obstacles you didn't recognize as obstacles, your higher self orchestrating exits from situations blocking your destiny. Now you're standing in empty space feeling lost, but this emptiness is not punishment. This clearing is not abandonment. This is preparation for takeoff. You're being made ready for a level of life you've never experienced. You were living someone else's dream, following someone else's path, chasing someone else's version of success, and your soul knew it, your body knew it, your spirit knew it, but your mind kept saying just a little longer, just a little more, just prove you can do this, and so everything had to fall apart because you wouldn't walk away on your own. The universe had to make staying more painful than leaving, had to make continuing impossible, had to burn the bridges you kept trying to cross back over. You've been watching things crumble and thinking you're losing, but you're not losing. You're being unburdened, unshackled, liberated from prisons you didn't even recognize as prisons, because you'd been in them so long the cages felt like home. That job draining you, that wasn't providing for you, that was consuming you. That relationship exhausting you, that wasn't love, that was an energy vampire disguised as connection. That situation you thought you needed, that wasn't security, that was a cage with a comfortable mattress. Buckle up, safety first, get ready to soar, you are clear for takeoff. That's not motivation, that's a literal message about what's happening right now. You're moving from ground to air, from walking to flying, from human struggling to divine flowing. But you cannot take off weighted down with old baggage, cannot ascend while attached to the ground, cannot fly while trying to walk. The portal is opening, and you're standing right in front of it. But you can't walk through carrying the weight of your old world. You can't enter a new dimension while clinging to the old one. You can't transform while holding on to the identity that needs to die. That's why everything had to go. That's why it all had to fall apart. That's why the universe had to pry your fingers off what you were clutching so desperately, because what you were holding onto was holding you back. There's something else you need to understand about why it all fell apart. You've been carrying patterns that aren't even yours, ancestral programming running through your veins, generational trauma playing out in your choices, family curses masquerading as family values, and you've been unconsciously repeating cycles that were set in motion long before you were born. Until now. The portal opening is not just about your personal transformation. You're breaking patterns for your entire lineage. You're the one who said enough. The one who looked at how things have always been done and decided that's not how things are going to be done anymore. You're the pattern breaker, the cycle ender, the curse destroyer, and that's why your path has been so brutal, because you're not just fighting your own demons, you're fighting demons that have been passed down through generations. Think about the beliefs you inherited. Work yourself to death to prove you're worthy. Sacrifice everything for family, even when family sacrifices nothing for you. Stay in situations that hurt you, because loyalty is everything. Don't speak your truth because that's selfish. Don't ask for what you need because that's greedy. Don't shine too bright because that threatens others. Don't dream too big because disappointment is inevitable. Those aren't your beliefs, those are chains disguised as wisdom, and you've been trying to succeed while wearing those chains, trying to fly with weights tied to your ankles, trying to be free while imprisoned by inherited limitations. No wonder it all went to hell. No wonder nothing worked the way you thought it would. You were trying to build a new life using blueprints from the old paradigm, trying to create freedom using the tools of bondage. It was never going to work. It had to collapse. The portal opening is your liberation from all of it. From every limiting belief you inherited, from every should and must and have to that was installed in you, from every voice that told you to play small, stay quiet. Don't ask for too much. You're stepping into a timeline where you get to decide, where you get to choose, where you get to create based on your truth, not someone else's trauma. And your family might not understand. Some might say you're betraying your roots, forgetting where you came from, getting too big for your britches. Let them say it. You're not betraying your roots. You're healing them. You're not forgetting where you came from. You're choosing where you're going. You're not getting too big. You're finally becoming the size you were always meant to be. And some people are going to hate that. The people who benefited from you staying small are going to resist your expansion. That's how you know you're doing it right. You are not supposed to be enslaved to anything, not supposed to feel confined, controlled, caged, not supposed to wake up carrying the world's weight. You're supposed to have the power of freedom, live in flow state, experience ease and joy and excitement. Somewhere you forgot that, started believing struggle equals worthiness, that if it's not hard, it doesn't count. But that's a matrix lie, programming to keep you too tired to think clearly. The truth is you're a diamond, not coal needing pressure to become valuable. You're already a diamond, always were. You just didn't recognize your own clarity, your rarity, your worth. Now you're being polished, fog lifting, starting to see yourself how God sees you. And it's overwhelming realizing how much you undervalued yourself. You're about to be very successful in something you didn't think you'd succeed in. Your sights were set elsewhere. You thought you had to go a particular route, achieve a specific thing to be worthy. But the universe is showing you your real gift, real value, real contribution has nothing to do with what you thought. You've been training for the wrong race, preparing for the wrong role. Now you're being repositioned for what you're actually meant to do. You have invincible spiritual power, but haven't felt it lately. Feeling defeated, depleted, powerless, because you've been fighting battles you were never meant to fight. Trying to win wars in arenas designed for your failure. Operating in enemy territory, wondering why everything feels hard. But you're being extracted now, pulled back into your kingdom. Reminded you were never meant to beg for scraps. You were meant to rule your own reality. You're having a revelation about your value, seeing opportunities reflecting your actual worth instead of the discounted version you've accepted. Meeting people who treat you with deserved respect instead of taking you for granted. Recognizing patterns you've tolerated that you'll never tolerate again. It's going to feel like waking from a nightmare. Coming back to life. Freedom. People are going to hang on your every word. What you say carrying weight you didn't realize you had. Your perspective shifting reality for others. Your presence creating transformation just by being yourself. Because when you step into power as a vessel, as someone carrying divine frequency, you don't try to be influential. You just are. Don't try to be magnetic. Just are. Don't try to make impact. You do by existing in truth. This is what was waiting on the other side of everything falling apart. This recognition of your value, this claiming of your power, this stepping into your sovereignty. You had to lose everything that told you that you were small, so you could finally see how vast you actually are. Had to release everyone who made you feel inadequate, so you could recognize your completeness. Had to let go of every situation that diminished you, so you could expand into your true size. You've been underestimating yourself for so long that recognizing your actual capacity is going to feel almost arrogant at first. Almost too much, almost unbelievable. But it's not arrogance, it's accuracy. It's not too much, it's finally enough. It's not unbelievable. It's the truth you've been running from, because owning it would require you to change everything. And change is terrifying, even when staying the same is killing you. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. You've been the lone wolf, and it's been lonely as hell, thinking you're the only one seeing things this way, believing you're too different, too intense, too much for anyone to understand. But that's changing dramatically. You're about to meet your tribe, connect with people speaking your language, find your pack of fellow chosen ones, breaking free from the same matrix programming. These are not regular people. These are rebels, truth seekers, warriors tired of pretending, strong-willed like you, rebellious like you, refusing to play by rules designed to keep people small. When you meet your tribe, you're feeling recognition so deep it brings tears, finally coming home. Not crazy after all, because others see what you see. God is bringing community so you can grow roots. I know that's hard to believe. You've been disappointed, betrayed by those you trusted, misunderstood by those you thought would get you. So you built walls, isolated yourself, decided safer alone than hurt again. But you cannot fulfill purpose in isolation, cannot change the world alone, cannot hold this frequency without others matching it. These superheroes are uniting, this small group with greatness in DNA finding each other. You're one of them. That's why stop overworking in spaces that don't appreciate you. Stop forcing connections with people draining you. Create space for right people to enter, because your tribe is coming, looking for you like you're looking for them. But you must be available, energetically open, in spaces where you can be found. This community you're building helps people wake up together, creating ripple effect. What you do inspiring others to do their version. What you say giving others permission to speak truth. What you become showing others what's possible. Together creating frequency so powerful that people ready to wake up feel pulled toward it. You're a lighthouse for lost souls, beacon for searchers, proof there's another way to live. But if you're stuck in situations requiring dimmed light, how will your tribe find you? If you're pretending to be someone you're not, how will the right people recognize you? If you're censoring yourself to fit in, how will your people know this is their home? You must be fully yourself, shine at full brightness, speak truth unapologetically. That's what draws your people, creates the community you've been longing for. Let's talk money, because I know you're worried, scared about surviving if you walk away from what's currently providing. Fear of not having enough keeping you stuck. But I'm telling you something that sounds too good to be true. A powerful wealth transfer is coming your way. And it's not coming how you think. You thought you had to work yourself to death for financial freedom, sacrifice health for wealth, sell your soul to secure your future. But that's scarcity programming, poverty consciousness, the lie the system taught so you'd stay enslaved to jobs killing your spirit. Truth is, when you align with purpose, abundance flows naturally. When you honor your value, resources appear. When you step into power, money becomes energy moving toward you instead of something you chase. This wealth transfer comes from unexpected sources, arrives through opportunities you didn't see coming, shows up in ways making no logical sense, but perfect spiritual sense. And the wildest part, it's coming while you're resting, reading, learning, gaining knowledge, and expanding consciousness. Because your value is not in your labor. Your value is in your frequency. Your worth is not in what you produce. Your worth is in who you are. You're receiving more by doing less. Sounds insane in a world measuring value by productivity. Sounds irresponsible in a culture glorifying grind. But you're not playing by those rules anymore. Operating on different system now. Tapped into divine economy where needs are met before you ask. Opportunities appear at perfect timing. Money shows up when you need it in ways leaving you in awe of how orchestrated everything is. But you must release the old story about money. Stop believing you must suffer to earn. Stop thinking you must prove yourself worthy of abundance. Stop accepting less than you deserve, because you're afraid nothing better exists. Wealth is your birthright, prosperity your natural state, abundance what you were always meant to experience. The only thing blocking it has been your limiting beliefs and willingness to stay in situations undervaluing you. Step back and watch what God unfolds. It's going to be perfect, absolutely perfect. The divine plan so much better than anything you could strategize. The universe has arrangements that will blow your mind, but you must get out of the way. Stop trying to force it your way on your timeline. Surrender to flow and trust you're being provided for. I know that's terrifying. Requires faith you've never had to exercise, but this is part of your initiation, where you prove to yourself you truly trust the divine. Time to talk about sovereignty, taking your power back from every person, place, thing you gave it to, because somewhere along the way you handed over your authority, gave power to the job making you feel small, gave power to the relationship making you feel inadequate, gave power to family dynamics making you the problem, gave power to society's standards having nothing to do with your actual purpose, but you're reclaiming it now, declaring sovereignty, taking back what's yours, standing in full authority, saying no more dimming my light, no more silencing my truth, no more shrinking to make others comfortable, no more performing for approval, no more sacrificing peace for other people's preferences. This energy is mine. Thank you. I'll be taking that back now, and you're sealing it off, protecting it, guarding it like the precious resource it is. You cannot be censored anymore, cannot be silenced, cannot be controlled, and in certain environments that's exactly what the system wants. Your family might not invite you because someone cannot control what you might say. Your workplace might feel threatened because you ask questions nobody wants answered. Your old friend group might exclude you because you're no longer participating in drama and gossip that bonded people before. All of that is okay. More than okay. Necessary. You have short fuse now. No patience for manipulation. Smell inauthenticity from miles away. Sense when people try to use you. Feel when situations try to trap you. And you're done playing along. Done being nice at expense of being real. Done keeping peace at cost of power. Some people calling you difficult. Some saying you've changed. Some accusing you of being selfish. Let them be uncomfortable with your evolution. That's their problem, not yours. You're rewriting your timeline, switching things up, breaking generational patterns, refusing to continue dysfunction cycles, creating completely new way of being that never existed in your family line before. That makes you pioneer, trailblazer, the one breaking the curse so future generations don't carry it. But pioneers are misunderstood. Trailblazers walk alone for a while. Ones breaking curses face resistance from those benefiting from curse continuing. So you're disappointing some people, letting go of relationships based on playing a role no longer fitting, walking away from situations where your presence requires being someone you're not. It's going to hurt, feel like loss, bring grief for life you thought you'd have, relationships you thought would last, version of yourself you're leaving behind. But on the other side of grief is freedom. On the other side of loss is authentic life. On the other side of death is resurrection. Everything is about to shift. Can you feel it? Electricity in the air, momentum building, wave coming, and you're about to catch it. You're experiencing breakthrough after breakthrough, clarity hitting like lightning, opportunities presenting themselves, doors opening you didn't know existed, and it's happening fast, in ways you could never orchestrate, because when divine timing clicks, things move at supernatural speed. Your passion is coming back, enthusiasm for life being renewed, excitement you lost returning, because you're finally moving in direction you were always meant to go, finally pursuing what actually lights you up instead of what you thought you were supposed to do, finally allowing yourself to dream again. And those dreams bigger than anything considered before, because you're no longer limiting yourself to what seems realistic, opening to what's possible when you stop playing small. Justice is coming. Roadblocks being removed. Barriers in your way for years dissolving overnight. People who held you back moved out of your path. Situations that kept you stuck resolving without you doing anything. Like universe clearing way for you to run full speed toward destiny. All you must do is be ready. Stay aligned. Trust what's unfolding is for highest good, even when it looks chaotic from where you're standing. You're coming out of environments where you had to keep quiet, couldn't speak truth, had to represent something not authentic to you, stepping into spaces where your voice matters, your perspective is valued, your unique way of seeing things exactly what's needed, moving from censorship to freedom, suppression to expression, hiding to shining. It's going to feel like you can finally breathe again, your life about to be in flow state, things that used to be hard becoming easy, things that used to drain you energizing you, things that used to stress you feeling natural, because you're no longer swimming against current, no longer pushing against closed doors, no longer forcing things not meant for you, finally in alignment, finally on your path, finally living life you were always supposed to live. Here's what you need to grasp about this wave building right now. Everything that went to hell before was the demolition phase, the clearing, the removal of everything incompatible with your new frequency. Now you're entering the building phase, the creation, the manifestation of everything that actually belongs in your life, and it's going to happen so fast it'll make your head spin. Opportunities you couldn't have imagined appearing out of nowhere, connections you couldn't have planned forming effortlessly, resources you couldn't have predicted showing up at perfect timing, because you're finally in the right frequency to receive them. You're going to look back at this moment soon and understand with perfect clarity why everything had to happen exactly the way it did, why that door had to close so this one could open, why that person had to leave so this person could enter, why that plan had to fail so this plan could succeed. You're going to see the divine orchestration of it all, the perfection in what looked like chaos, the protection in what felt like rejection, the redirection in what seemed like failure. You are a chosen one, not because you're better than anyone else, because you're here to do something specific. Wake people up, help them see beyond illusion, channel light in dark places, and you cannot do that while you're still asleep yourself, cannot do that while you're still playing the Matrix game, cannot do that while you're still trying to be normal. So everything that made you feel abnormal, everything that made you feel like you didn't fit, everything that made you question if something was wrong with you, that was preparing you for this, for stepping into power, for walking through this portal, for becoming who you've always been meant to be. The body never lies. That's where we started, and that's where we end. Your body told you to stop, and you finally listened. Your spirit told you there's more, and you finally believed it. Your soul told you to trust, and you finally surrendered. And now look where you are, standing at the edge of everything new, everything real, everything yours. The portal is open, your new timeline activated, your real life beginning. Don't look back, don't second guess, don't wait for permission. Just walk. Walk through fear, walk through doubt, walk through uncertainty, because on the other side of this portal is everything you've been searching for. The community that gets you, the work that fulfills you, the life that honors you, the version of yourself that's free. And it's not coming someday. It's here now. The portal is open now. Your breakthrough is happening now. Everything that went to hell before was clearing the runway. God has bigger plans. The universe conspired to bring you here. Your higher self orchestrated every breakdown to create this breakthrough. And now you understand. Now you see. Now you know. This is why it all went to hell before. So you could rise from the ashes like the phoenix you are. So you could step into power you didn't know you had. So you could walk through a portal you didn't know existed. The portal is open, chosen one. Your body said stop so you could start. Your old life ended so your real life could begin. Everything fell apart so everything could fall into place. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your activation. Walk through the portal. Your destiny is not waiting on the other side. Your destiny is the act of walking through. Own it, claim it, live it. The world is waiting for you to wake up, and the moment you do, you give everyone else permission to wake up too. The portal is open. Walk through it. You were always meant to fly.